Hi guys, today I'm going to look at the New Zealand housing market and I'm going to look at some of the games that are being played out there to try and keep the fragile monster from collapsing altogether. It's now just a week past selling season and things are going to go downhill fast from here. There are lots of agents sitting on lots of stock and they're all too scared to admit to their vendors that the price that they told the vendors that their house was worth, just so they can get the listing, is now worth about $200,000 or $300,000 less. The mainstream media and the real estate agents will have you believe that the market is strong. But they're lying. The number of listings heading into winter is over 49,000 on TradeMe alone, which is absolutely enormous. But you've also got to bear in mind that a lot of these listings are just one property for sale, even though it's a developer who's got, say, 10 properties, he's only listing them as one. It's even worse than 49,000. Then there's the little tiny problem of housing underperforming loans. These are mortgages that people are struggling to pay. Since the government bailed out the banks with the FLP bribe, or the funding for lending program during COVID, where the banks were told that in order to get this funding they had to help struggling mortgagee holders, which they have been doing for a while now, they've been hiding the true extent of the pain out there ever since. Eventually though, the banks will grow tired of this pretense. If a new bribe does not come forward, then the pressure will build up and build up and build up, and at some point the top will blow off, the banks will have had enough, and the truth will emerge. So let's look at the underperforming loans, shall we? In New Zealand, a non-performing housing loan is a mortgage where the borrower has defaulted on payments. Now that's principal and or interest for 90 days or more, or where the lender considers the loan as impaired. I will put a link in the description to the figures from the RBNZ. Now this is no laughing matter, right? But the value of non-performing housing loans was $1.024 billion in February 2023. It is now, in February 2025, $2.351 billion. Now that is a rise of $1.327 billion, which is over double the 2023 figure. Anyone who cannot see how frightening this is to the banks needs to do a bit more research. So just to repeat, the total of non-performing housing loans in New Zealand was $2.351 billion at the end of February, and that number is growing. And it's growing at a time when people can't sell their homes coming into winter. This is an enormous figure for little old New Zealand, and the fact it keeps growing when houses are not selling must be scary to the banks. So if you think that that value is not high, if you think that the total non-performing housing loan of $2.351 billion is not too much to worry about, then look at what the total non-performing loans as a whole are. This includes personal and business loans. So as of February 2025, it's only $4.36 billion and growing. And the really frightening thing is, some people will be taking out personal loans to pay off mortgages, and then they will be unable to pay both. At what point do the bank shareholders step in and say enough is enough? Trying to save the lost cause New Zealand housing market just to protect the political class will be jarring to these bank shareholders now. They'll feel like they've done their job pretending everything was rosy, but now they will have to start getting tough and they will have to call in these loans, or the bank's profits and the bank's credibility will be put at risk. The FLP bribe will only last so long. Without more bribes coming forward, then the deal will be off. The truth will be outed. So let's have a look at TradeMe. Now there's only 52 mortgagee sales listed, which really should be a lot higher with this many underperforming loans. So how can this be? Now one reason is that the banks haven't got tough yet. They're giving people so much more time than they used to before admitting defeat and calling in the loan. And the banks and agents are not stupid. They don't want to spook the market, as they know it will not take much for the floodgates to open and the whole house of cards to collapse. They know that if people start seeing the word mortgagee sale everywhere, then it will cause sentiment to dramatically shift and panic will set in. Instead, they're getting many struggling owners to list with the words like beat the bank or urgent or must sell. Do you know that there's actually individual agents out there with over 60 listings on their books that they're clinging onto with their 2021 prices, and they just cannot sell anything? They cannot admit that the prices have crashed. They cannot admit to the vendors that they have lost them a sale and potentially hundreds and hundreds of thousands in cash because the agent's enormous ego has got in the way. Now just imagine being an agent like that living in a small town like, I don't know, let's say Northland for example, and all your vendors start realizing that you had a problem, that you're the one who's made them not be able to sell their property, that you're the one who's lost them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine being an agent like that, living in a little small town surrounded by people who started hating you. The 2021 madness made their egos make them think that they are simply amazing agents. They won lots of awards like Elite Agent or Super Duper Agent of the Year, and their egos have expanded to levels unheard of. They thought they could forever pull off this amazing feat for selling the record prices in a town 200 k's away from the nearest packet safe. Reality's gonna come home soon enough, but unfortunately it's not until they will have done untold damage to their communities, which is not fair. This is the part that gets me, that the agents are the people causing the problem for the people trying to sell now. They're holding up these prices and they're not selling. Now there's people who really need to sell. There's people who really need to move on with their lives. But the agents are clinging on to these unrealistic prices. It's madness. Anyhow, guys, I'll give you a little taste of some of the videos I'm going to do. And I'm just going to go through and look at some agents' listings, right? Just to see the madness of them. Here's a couple of examples. Here's the title. Huge price reduction for quick sale. But it's priced by negotiation. So how are you supposed to know how much the price was and how much the price is now? Absolute insane. You've got to negotiate a price, but the price is being reduced for the quick sale. These people are nuts. It's hilarious how so many of them could not just put a price on a property even in this falling market. And the only reason for that is that they don't want to tell you the price because it's too high. They want to somehow manipulate you with their amazing gold star agent skills to convince you why the house is still worth 2021 prices. But no, it's just not. Oh, we have this other heading. Grab a gem, modern first home on investment in Palmerston North. Now, you only have to look down the listing. And this modern first home was built on the 31st of December 1969. Oh, we have what the... Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. That's a steal, ... Auction 10th of April. So how does this agent know it's a steal if it's going to auction? Honestly, this madness has to stop. I could go on, but this list is endless. So it's actually quite funny. Anyway, if you want to hear more of this madness from agents, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.